Hey, what's up you guys? Akromaniac here. So this video is going to be my take on a Cloak and Dagger guide, and I just want to showcase off her abilities, and then I'm going to go over my own match footage that just came from Ranked. So that way you can actually see it in application. And I can go more in depth as to what the theory is and, why we're doing what we're doing. So to start, her primary is her heals. So it's this dagger shot, and it can do damage if it's firing at an enemy player, or it can do healing if you're firing at your own allies. The really cool thing about this thing is that you see this ring that's on the floor. All of your allies and yourself that are within that ring will also get a healing benefit. It's not just the target that's getting the heal. And at the same time, if you're hitting an enemy player, while you're damaging them, you're still able to heal your own teammates too if they're in this vicinity for the same exact reason. So this makes this character immense when it comes to team fights, and she will be the thing that actually sways the fight itself. This is why, again, for DPS players, you have to target the support first. That's how you pull the whole team apart.
Get ready. Here come the bad guys.
So there's that, and then this thing, it has infinite range. It will have travel time, but it can go as far as wherever it needs to go. Her O is another thing, or her bubble is another thing that also has infinite range. Anything, including yourself, that is within this field of radius will get healing over time. So you can combine this with your own primary to amplify the healing, significantly. So you can do passive healing from the bubble, you can do healing onto the target, and then for your own teammates, if they're also within the ring too, they'll also get healing off of that. Then her last ability in her light form is this light veil. So this will go through everything, as you can see. It'll go through enemies too, but it's not going to affect them in any way. So all of your allies that get hit by this will get an increased healing buff to them. So basically any single kind of healing that they receive will be amplified for a short duration. And this heals them up at the flip side too. So you can basically shoot the shot, get amped up healing, and start healing them, as you can see. And then you can just combine it as simple as it is. You do that, land a few shots, put the bubble down, and then keep on healing. And as you can imagine, that's a lot of passive healing that happens. And it is a lot of passive healing. So that's just her by herself. So you can imagine if she has the assistance of another support, which most teams will, it's pretty significant. So there's that. And then the only other ability that she has is her stance switch to go into her dark form. So the dark form, or cloak, is the DPS side. So its primary is kind of like Wanda's. Doesn't have as much range, but it's just a consistent, slightly auto-tracking beam. Has a soft lock on it. And that's just all it does. He has his own kind of light veil, except it's a shadow veil, or a veil of darkness. And it does damage on its own. If you hit your own allies, it does nothing for them or to them. But if you hit enemy players, it does damage on its own, and it increases the amount of damage that they take. It's kind of like a Discord orb. So any kind of damage that enemy player receives while they're shrouded like that will be increased in damage. So that's why this character becomes really, really significant in certain chokes and in certain critical moments, especially with engaging a fight. And at the flip side, at the same time too, everyone that gets touched by this, their screen actually gets obscured. They can only see so far, and then the rest is like a smoke screen. So it also is really, really good for diving characters, to literally blind them and then try to find cover while simultaneously having the capacity to still do increased damage to them, And then the other thing that he does is his own escape. So himself and any of your allies that are within this cloak field will basically vanish kind of like he does. So you can't be targeted in this, you can't get hit. and he gives his own allies a little bit of a speed boost that are within this too. The only thing is, if they start attacking, as you can see, like this bot is doing, you see how it's shrouded, and then the shroud goes away? It's because he starts attacking. Your teammates only get the benefit of being invisible for as long as they don't shoot. The moment that they start shooting again, they lose all of that ability. So, as you can imagine, being invincible is really, really strong, and it is. So this character, like this move itself is crucial, one for yourself, if you need to survive because you're being dove, or there's an ultimate that's targeting you, or even for your own teammates, like trying to save them from certain scenarios. You know, also from ultimates and team wipes and stuff like that. Like this will come super crucial. So the importance with this character, like the skill ceiling with this character specifically, or this form, is actually having that timing down and having that that reaction time. Because like this thing is just, it's so huge, the fact that it's basically like this is your ability. It's like an actual survive, you know, is your ability. So you want to be very, very conservative basically when you use it. You know, you want to pick and choose the right times. And it's very cool because the character can actually cancel, as you can see, into different kinds of stuff. Like they can do their own timings to do certain things, like to do, you know, all kinds of just like different kinds of combinations, and go into their ultimate as well too. So you know, you can populate the screen with a lot. Like they have enough moves to do all of this. So that's really just the last bit, would be her ultimate. So her ult is the 4 dashes, and once the dashes are done, that entire field is doing omega healing for yourself and your teammates, and it's doing little bits of AoE damage to enemy players that are standing within it. So it's going to be the thing that actually keeps you alive against a lot of ultimates. But if she gets killed during the ultimate cast or even after, doesn't really matter. If she gets killed, the whole field of effect disappears with her. So you will be the target of like Magneto, who's going to try to counter ult you, or Iron Man, or any other insta-shot character in general. So you want to be mindful altogether that even when you have your ultimate, you want to choose it in a certain spot. Like let's say if I was to do it here, like let's say the fight is here, I would probably start it like this first, you know, so just so that way as he's casting, I can already lose him like at a different angle entirely by the time I'm done, you know, so that way at least my teammate has some semblance of, you know, the field, and I don't actually legitimately just die and waste it altogether. So that's pretty much that. So now I'm going to go into the actual gameplay footage and take it from there. So now we are in ranked. For this one, rank 2 basically just started, so everybody dropped down 9 tiers. So this is roughly around the range of everyone that was previously within the Celestial rank, and then Diamond. In this current present moment right now, Diamond would be what Eternity players were from the last season. So we're all just basically trying to climb back up to those high levels. So this is kind of like just the beginning of the season. So this character, the good thing about her, overall good and bad thing, is that she actually has a very, very high skill ceiling altogether. Like if you're an average cloak, or you're just not a good cloak, you literally will not be effective against one that actually does know what they're doing. Like you will feel that disparity, and the teams will feel it in every single engagement and team fight. So it's like, for that reason, she's not really a likely character to get banned, especially now that they've like soft nerfed her and everything, you know, in all different kinds of ways. They've obviously given her a few little buffs here and there, but like she has legitimate counterplay. Speaking of, like this right here. So that was kind of just like a gank. That was at BS Psylocke. But now as a support, you want to pay attention. Okay, they have a Psylocke. Okay, she's invisible. You know, I had to be careful that, you know, like I'm ready on the escape. So it's like right now, obviously I'm still paying attention to my team, but look, I see her, she's right there. I'm not even going to give her a chance. I'm just going to start fading, you know. My bubble, I just put it up. You can use it. So then that's another thing too, like with this character, you want to constantly use like that Veil of Darkness. almost every single time that you have it, because more often than not, every single time that those moments occur, there's going to be some kind of a team fight, or somebody's getting jumped, or somebody's diving you, you know, or somebody needs to be finished off, where every single one of those scenarios, guess what, that Veil of Darkness will be really handy right there. And over here, I'm just starting ult because I just want to maintain this momentum. We're pushing them back already. I want to secure this. Like, we need to push them up. We need to get around this bend. Like, you never really want to get stuck around corners like this, because then it becomes a fight of constantly just like peeking out, shooting, peek, shoot. You know, and there's all these different angles. You want to try to break out of that as quickly as you can, as efficiently as you can. So right here, I was just preemptively, I was thinking, you know, I think she might jump me. So that's why I put the bubble down right there.
Oh, come on, man.
So then for this, we're all kind of just engaging. See, like, I need my teammates to be more closer, which is good that they are, and that's how you can tell that they're more high level, because they understand it's like, okay, here's the objective. We need to push the payload. You know, we need to fight as a team. We need to stick together. And they just do that on their own. You know, they don't need to be told, which is nice. And it's usually the hallmark of just higher level ranks altogether. So for this, I don't know why I didn't survive, but like I don't know if he just missed his heals or maybe he wasn't around. I wasn't really paying attention. But we should win, hopefully. So see, like with this is just like an alternate way to get to it. Like, you always want to know these kinds of points, especially with this character with Cloak, because as you can see, like, you can start firing your shots because they have infinite range, depending on how you're getting back from spawn. As you can see right there, look, and even the bubble. You want to know where these angles are and just how well you can time it and place them to actually legitimately help your team, you know, into surviving, even if you're not there. Like, she's like this perfect like love child of like Mercy and Moira for that reason. Because that side of it, it's almost like Mercy's guardian angel, except not for the evasiveness, but for actually getting, you know, back to the team, or getting back to a fight, getting back to the point from spawn quicker than normal characters would be capable of doing, you know, to actually provide your support all over again. And she's capable of doing that, provided that you actually land your shot, you know, in the right place. So that's why it's like, it's cool, because those moments will happen, you know, they will always be there. And if you actually know how to utilize it, it will change the fight. You know, as opposed to a Cloak that's gonna, you know, take their time and wait till they're all the way back at their team to finally start shooting their shots, and that whole duration they could have probably saved a teammate or two, and now they're dead because she didn't do that, you know?
Oh, Cloak, you better come back.
No, behind.
This bitch ass Psylocke. It's like she's doing what she's supposed to do, but it's like we have to be more mindful, and I know I have to now be more mindful, you know, and actually just have a kill switch ready, you know, like be prepared to basically deal with her, because she's not giving any chances. She's not trying to give any room to breathe. She's going for the kill, so we have to be smart about it. So right here, the best thing that we need to do is just group up. You know, like there's no reason to push up right here. You know, we're down by 2. We don't really have ultimates. I don't have my ult. You know, it's just we just need to reorganize essentially. So with this, because there's 2 minutes at the same time too, you still want to make it count, because it just adds more time onto the last point, but usually the last point is the hardest to actually push, you know, just because it's right by their spawn and it's the very, very end. This guy, I don't know why they went out that way personally. You know, they kind of just chose the the most open path, the least amount of cover.
I don't know, can we run a Punisher maybe?
But at least right now, like for Cloak, where she comes in handy is stuff like this, because as you can see, she's not really dying right now, you know, and she is still able to provide all of this sustain. So she's like really good at just like that sustain side altogether.
What the fuck is this end result?
Because then look, like right here, it's like I'm not even gonna risk it. I'm just gonna fade, and we'll just go from there. So see, this is where she comes in handy, just all that flexibility. You saw just the 2 different veils, the bubble, the healing, every single bit, and now the ultimate to keep on extending that momentum. Like, that's what she is just so good for. So she is capable of building this immense momentum, and it's just, at a high level, teams will actually follow up with it. And this is, look, you want to be careful here too, like her invincibility. Had I got hit by that, they likely would have started snowballing.
I'm trying.
Like, I don't think that this team is good altogether. Like, not that this was like a free win, but it's like,
Alright, Bucky, I'm gonna use
these
you
are
back
part
up,
of the
buddy.
players that don't belong in this rank. They didn't belong in Celestial, you know, in the previous season. And this is what's finally showcasing now. Like, because on this loss, they should receive a pretty hefty chunk that's taken away. As opposed to before, you know, it's like they wouldn't really have to reap the consequences. Oh yeah, we're doing so good. See, like you can even just see the synergy. Obviously, they are all communicating. I'm not communicating with them. Several other players are not communicating here either. Like, we're kind of just doing what's the right thing to do. But right here, see, as I'm trying to call them back because you don't need to engage.
I'm cooking.
Our objective, we just have to push the point. Look, there's only a minute left. We need to stay together. We need to do this.
Shit fucking map. If you lose the fight, you're kind of.
So right here, I'm still waiting on the Psylocke altogether. Like, I'm just anticipating it. And always, like, just like that, always be prepared to do that with any character that dives. Always go into Cloak and shadow them. You know, because more than likely your team should be able to at least land a few shots, and it's going to be additional damage and everything. Look at this bitch. She's trying it again. And that's the thing. You need to have that reaction time down with Cloak. Like, it needs to be there. And then I don't know how my teammate died. How they weren't in a cloak or in the dust.
Nah, I didn't.
But you can see, like, this is where they're kind of getting a little too hungry, because the point is all the way back here. Like, we need help on point, guys. You know, but now they're coming back. And this is why you don't want to get greedy, because she has such good survivability that she will kind of essentially just out-heal a lot of ganks altogether. Like, it's only very specific characters that will really be able to melt her down, but they have to waste every single ability and make sure that she doesn't utilize her fade, you know, from Cloak.
It's okay. I thought Rocket was gonna be annoying.
It's like you always want to target like enemy players that are overextending. You always want to have that veil ready. Look, like, I can react. Like, it's really important that you do get that down. Like, so much of her is just, you have to have immaculate timing and resource management, like, to really make the most use out of her. Like, they're so good, and it's just, if you don't have it, you're just kind of ineffective. It's like you're missing, like, literally like 10 turns if you're not keeping up with it.
Don't let him go back to spawn.
See, like right here, it's like you always want to stay together with the team, and this is why it's important even for team players. If you have a Cloak, you are heavily encouraged to stay grouped up and together, because it's almost like you have a little Zenyatta with you. You know, like, you just have like a transcendence essentially always there, provided the team is always grouped up and together.
It's a team up with Emma Frost.
And it enables her to build up to ultimate so fast, and you know, like, it's just so good.
That's dumb.
How do you have that shit close, bro? The game just
Because it's like right here, obviously I didn't technically need to use it, but I wanted to, because like, you just need to force like that pressure, you know, onto them. Part of it, they might have had an ultimate by then too. Hopefully it would have forced it out, you know, but at the same exact time, it didn't let them continue any further momentum. It just halted them and stopped them, you know, and it kept us alive all in one go. See, like, for here it would have been better, but I don't understand why my other support doesn't have his ultimate yet, you know. Like, I already used mine, and I'm almost halfway onto another, and you still don't have your first one. What are you doing?
I'm so bad. I keep talking.
I'm gonna change to Iron Man so I can get there quickly.
They have a hella.
We're good, bro. We're good.
You sure?
I got that.
Oh, but I do remember part of this, because I remember listening to the commentary of these guys. It was kind of funny. The cool thing is that they're actually very self-aware. Like, they're on the mic, but they're kind of pointing out their little bits of errors, you know, like where they went wrong, you know, like bad plays and stuff like that. They're very, very self-aware, and I feel like that's just so important to actually getting so much better. You know, like, you have to be able to recognize the the wrong plays, you know, so that way you can actually know how to fix them and which ones to avoid. Like it has to have awareness to it, you know. So like over here, I'm trying to build up to ult, but I don't think that I'm gonna reach it in time. Because even if I do, I would normally just ult right away, but there's just so much happening right here, so many abilities, and the numbers weren't there. It wasn't worth just burning through the ult and likely just dying the moment right after I cast it, you know? Like, they have a Hela, I could get headshot, they have a Psylocke too, like she can actually just like burst if she's close enough. Magneto as well too, so it's like even if they all just happen to like land right in the same moment or within the same vicinity, it's like the ultimate still won't save you.
I tried, I'm sorry.
So you want to always be mindful of that too, as Cloak.
Well, I just cooked you, buddy.
Where like you just want to ensure that at least it's going to land in some way, or it's going to force out the ult like that, as you can see. Because I knew that he has his ultimate. So it's like, I'll just come back. Because hopefully, he's smart. And he was, you know?
Damn, fuck.
So this is the thing, like you always want to stay near your team, but you want to play around so many corners and angles, just like that, so that way you can evade most situations that the rest of the team might get fucked over by.
I'm dead as fuck. Oh
It's just like knowing angles, just knowing the right positioning is just so huge for her as a character. Like it's so similar to Mercy in that way. Like it feels very, very reminiscent. Because you don't even necessarily need to be within the ring itself, because you're likely not going to be getting dealt damage if your team are the ones that are actually doing the fight altogether, you know. So it's kind of like Mercy peeking around walls and stuff with her healing beam, you know, and just pocketing and keeping the people up. Like that's kind of what Dagger is doing with her healing. So then like right here again too, if they make this corner, if they make this bend, like if they proceed further, it's going to be harder for us to stop them. So I just want to stop them right here. And that's what I love about this character. Like she can just attack, or they can attack in so many different areas, and look at all of this. Like when you actually know what you want your inputs to be doing, she is so legitimately like actually complex to a degree, you know, like there's a lot of set play that's behind it. Because if you do it all basically at the wrong time in the wrong order, then you're basically just dead in 5 seconds.
Did anyone else die to that, or just me?
No.
He heals. I'm trying.
I see, so it's like we're stalling them. We're still under spawn, so more than likely they are going to be able to have some semblance of resistance, you know, and fight back. But we've bought ourselves like a minute or so, where they've just been here. And they've actually burned through an ult or two, you know. So it's very much worth it.
You gotta remember, man, I'm not a burst healer.
Like you see they're burning ultimates, because that's part of what you want to do too. Like you don't want to necessarily be too afraid of dying, because it's almost like Mercy's way too. Sometimes she is a sacrificial lamb, you know, she is significant, but she might not be the most significant thing in this current moment. So maybe she is the piece, she is the pawn that you have to give up, that you have to sacrifice. Sometimes that's the case, but look at this. Like this is what I mean by everything is about positioning. You know, and reaction time. If you have those, you can make this character soar. But if you don't, you are going to be missing out on so much, and your team is going to suffer for it.
I don't like my positioning. I need to back up.
Look at this hoe. She wants to solo ult me. But you saw how much time we bought ourselves another minute, and they burned through even another round of ultimates too, to try to, you know, break through our hold, like our wall.
Careful, let's not get staggered. Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes you do have to sacrifice this character.
If we gotta fight those local.
And that's why in those kinds of moments when you know that that's going to occur, you want to at least have something set up, especially like the Veil of Darkness, for example, where you at least give your team a chance that it's like, oh look, I just died, but if you jump them now, you also have a damage buff, you know?
So bomb, get aggressive if you need to.
So see, like right here, we're like the only thing that I'm at least working towards. I don't really care what the rest of my team is doing. I'm just trying to build to ult, because then that way we actually can survive.
I just heard you say Soulburn, I thought.
Like they have a Magneto, as you can see, but you know I don't have my ultimate yet. But I know that when I cast it, I'm not gonna do it in a bad spot, you know.
Yep. God damn, bro. They're just fucking me over and over again.
See, like right there, I knew that it's not worth the effort. I will die if I ult, so I'm not going to.
Do not let him fucking win this shit.
Like it's ballsy, but it's not worth
Can
it.
eat my fucking left nut. Stagger Luna.
Oh, that was a clone.
Look, here she comes again, thinking that she's clever.
That's okay, that's okay.
There's no way she got it.
And that's the thing, you have to understand and know how to defend yourself. And she is so good at doing that. But you need to understand, you know, how to flex around your abilities, because sometimes in order to actually fight back, you need to be more defensive and healing and setting up the bubble and whatnot. And then other times you're supposed to be as aggressive as possible just in this instant, and then flicker quickly into the bubble and then go back. See, like he just fucked that up entirely, that Magneto. I don't know if that was just like a fumble, or he thought that, you know, like I was low enough, or whoever he was targeting was low enough that they can kill him. But and look, you want to be aware of things. Like I was noticing somebody shooting at me on the side. I don't know who's shooting at me. I don't know what it's coming from, but I'm judging by the trajectory where it is, and I'm gonna try to moving out of the way.
Smoke almost has ult. Keep her alive, guys. Protect her. I'm dead.
So like I just need to stay alive.
No, Hella's just fucking did a crazy play.
Make sure Cloak lives. Make sure Cloak lives. Yeah.
And that's basically it. Because Magneto just ulted, he fucked it up. Nothing's gonna kill me now. And then I checkmate them because they're all low. They don't have the support, and my dust is everywhere. So it's like, where are you gonna go? Yeah, look at that, 51k.
So bad. No, I played so bad.
So I know that really didn't go like super in depth, but this is kind of the gist of the character. Like I'm definitely obviously going to do more videos and more matches and go over those, but that's kind of just the basis of them. Like you really just want to be doing this all together, because in that way you're going to accentuate all of the strengths of your team, and you're going to just provide the sustain for everyone to actually pop off. But that's it for this video. I hope you guys have a good day or night, and take care.